Hey guys, this is Neve, and I'm coming back to you with Somewhere in the Snow and Eyeless Jack X Reader, the final chapter, chapter 18. Hey, I made some stranger dogs at your puppies, don't get mad. Considering this series is coming to an end soon, would you guys want me to find another Eyeless Jack X Reader? Or would you guys want me to start something else? Like I can do a Laughing Jack or another Chicky-topia I could do, which I'm going to continue doing Touch, but I wanted to get this one finished while I can. I've been a little bit busy with work and my family. During the holidays, we have like so much stuff we get going on. So I do apologize for the late postings. I'm going to try to post ahead of time. Like whenever I'm recording, one day I'm not busy, I'm going to try to record multiple videos. But I do need to know if you guys want more creepypasta stuff, or would you guys want some anime stuff or game-based stuff? I saw someone recommended Undertale. Not sure how many people would want Undertale. Me personally, I'm cool with reading whatever. But if you guys let me know, I will see about looking some stuff up. Like we can go to Qtev, AO3, Wattpad, any of them, as long as you guys can let me know if you guys would be cool with that or not. But without me further adoing, let me get started on this chapter so we can get this final episode out. Look here, you glitching, blondie, buzzing, drowning freak, the man that wore leather said. Tell me where little Jackie is, and this will all go nicely, the man tuned. Though in reaction, Ben just chewed at this blue raspberry gum and stared at the man not so quietly as he smacked loudly with the gum. Lou, definitely not solely, on the other hand, had his legs somewhat up in the air with a snow-covered boot buried into the gaming chair that Ben sat on. He also had his arm right on top of the chair as his head was almost leaned into Ben's ghostly skull. The silence between the two was deadly. Lou, Sully's eyebrows twitched as he stared into Ben's red tiny pupils before taking all his force and pushing the gaming chair away from him. You are no fun, Sully said, before turning away from the presence of Ben, rolling away and slightly tipping over in the process. Sully put his arms out and stretched before crossing his arms behind his head. Kid, you got a lot of gut in ya, Sully said, before stretching out again and leaning his stomach out while his arms behind his head supported him. Ben watched on his gaming chair that was now against the wall because of the low life in front of him, that was now groaning as he stretched. This dude is really fucking weird, Ben thought as he observed Sully's actions. He knew how different Lou and Sully was, even though they were quite literally the same person. At this, Ben sighed deeply, his now scented blue raspberry breath being released after keeping silent at Sully's attempted intimidation. Nah, I only stayed quiet because I knew you can't do anything to be either way. Sully possibly could, it's just the fact he didn't know exactly how to. You're right, Sully said, before turning around to meet Ben's figure and again in the distance. But if you weren't, whatever the fuck you are, I could've. That was also technically true, as Ben was a ghost, and also the fact if Ben was magically turned back into human. Sully, or maybe even Lou, if he pushed him enough to do so, would have beat Ben into a plump. Yeah, yeah, dude. Anyways, I just wanted to see how this little situation would go, Ben said, before sticking his foot on the ground, was pushing away to meet his destination of his keyboard. Couldn't you just use your ghostly powers and shit? Sully questioned at Ben's actions. Yeah, but it takes a bit of my energy overall, Ben answered. You barely do anything physical, though. Sully thought before raising one of his eyebrows. More thoughts and questions went through Sully's mind, for example. I thought ghosts didn't have energy. Wait, do they? Should I ask Ben? No, 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 no. That would be weird. But overall, Sully is just a big ol' himbo, while on the other hand, Lou is quite smart or just gets more flustered easier. Yet both were the best of the best at fighting without weapons. Not only that, they were athletic as fuck, bonus of being quite flexible as well, but it was surprising to the creeps that they would rather sit their ass off on that damn quote-unquote timber sled. Some think it's a waste of talent, while others think they have no talent at all and it's all a cheat from him. Why do you need me to locate Jack anyways? Ben said, his teeth grinding against the gum in between. Don't know, he just, texted me. Sully stopped to think before coughing in his throat. Hey dudes, this is Jack, and I want you to do some work for me. I'll just give you anything you want after blah blah blah. Batshit. Suddenly, Sully suddenly bursted in a shout after his little deep voice mimicking of Jack. While in reality, Jack actually said, do some work for me. Easy work. I'll be waiting for your word and something in return. Wait, hey, why are you going to ask me but pull up the whole message on your weird screen? Sully pointed out before Ben quickly pulled up the located map. There, I already sent you a copy of the locator on your phone so you don't bother me. Also, leave without a word. Ben leaned into his chair before sticking his gum out of his mouth and putting it under his desk. Also, work on your nicknames. The fuck is Glitching Blondie Buzzing Drowning Freak? Ben narrowed his eyes at Sully before he shrugged at Ben. Taking his leave, Sully stuck out his pointing finger and moved it up and down almost like a waving goodbye, before stepping out and closing or slamming the door shut behind him. Ben hummed at this, his red and pitch black eyes still staring at the door, and that was all just before Ben's room/screens glitched and went dark. Just Ben, alone in the darkness in his room. No devil-like thoughts lingering around too, though, right? Waking up in the morning to see a tall, large figure beside your door isn't something amusing to see. The annoying haze of blue and the hollow black eyes that sputtered out this weird substance and the usual all-black clothing the man wore. You narrowed your eyes and frowned at the man before turning your body around and facing the covered window that had a tiny peak of sunlight coming out. Oh, to go outside again and not stay hostage of this creepy man. Your thoughts glow at your imaginary scenario of you and your dogs running through the snow before making pretty snow angels. That was all stopped because the man fucking made you roll out of bed and drag your ass to the bathroom. Get out, Jack, you bluntly said. You stood in the middle of the room doing nothing as you leaned to the side, the sink supporting your weight, as you had your arms crossed. Jack, on the other hand, just stood beside your bathroom door just as they did in the room, clearly not giving a single flying clue about how you wanted him out, for your own good privacy. You took note of his body language. No reactions, doesn't even seem like he's breathing, not even a twitch in a nerve in his body seemed to startle him. Boring, boring, and boring, and nothing. Literally, when does this guy give up? You didn't even know why he won't leave you alone. He's like a clingy Bigfoot. But you wondered if he'd let you piss in peace. Dude, like, actually, get out. I need to take a leak. He pointed your thumb behind you at the toilet. It was true, though. It was a need to use the toilet right when you wake up. Jack stood there before taking his precious time getting out and closing the door behind him. You narrow your eyes at the slight thud in the shadow under the door. The fucker is leaning against the door, just waiting. You sigh at this before taking no time to twist that lock before doing your business. Definitely a clinging Bigfoot. That was probably your best comparison of him. Done doing your business and flushing the toilet, you meet your destination at the sink before washing your hands thoroughly. You watch as the water covered your hands before looking up to the reflection of yourself. Shower. That was the one word that echoed through your mind. Your overall face wasn't too bad, but your hair, to contrast, everything was a mess. A greasy, oily, dirty, bedheaded mess. Gosh, you really need to take a shower. You hated how some parts of your hair made it look like it stuck together. You also hated the weird feeling on your hairline or forehead if you didn't quickly wash it. You muttered it before hearing a click from the door and the squeaking sound of it opening. Snapping your head at the noise, you see a specific Jack entering inside. You swore you felt your heart drop. How the fuck did you open that door? He backed away slightly, analyzing his hands to see if he picked it. You remember when your family tried locking the door to all the secret presents on your birthday or Christmas, and as you were young, you learned quickly that a spoon, fork, or knife, many more, could twist in between the middles of a knob to open the door or lock. Sadly, your knobs inside your house were just like those as the ones you picked when you were younger. Unless this guy has some super long nails or something to twist the lock, it was quite impossible to open the door. Ew. Maybe he's some incredible super pervert that's talented of opening things. Jack stood there once again before saying, "Easy open." The fuck is that supposed to mean? Maybe you were right about him being a potential creepy pervert. Does that mean you're some kind of perv? No, Jack interrupted your saying of misunderstanding. Right, right. You nodded your head before going back to drying and washing your hands. So is he just going to watch me the entire time? It seems like it. But anyways, if he was going to do so, then he must have noticed how your back was no longer hurting based on the fact you're out and about. You just didn't know when he was going to mention it or announce the fact he's going to take his leave because your back is no longer hurting. Trust me, you knew that wasn't going to happen, but you didn't back down from your hopes and wishes. You hummed before reaching out to the side of the sink and grabbing your toothbrush. Upon doing so, you notice an extra just sitting lazily next to yours. You ignore it as you assume that was his. At least you know Mystery Man brushes his teeth and potentially has good hygiene. Grabbing your toothpaste and open the cap to put the perfect amount onto the brushes of your toothbrush. You begin brushing. Looking back up at the mirror, you see yourself in Jack's reflection. You stare at Jack's figure through the mirror, noting how he just has a habit of watching you. He knew that you were also just standing there and watching him, though that didn't bother you as much, only because you hated the fact you looked like a crazy monster with your hair going all over the place and many more stuff. You remember how you were always bothered by your hair getting messed up around other people. You weren't too crazed about how you looked overall, but when it came to your hair, oh, you'll have a tantrum and torment people whether or not your hair looked normal or good. It's simple, it doesn't look like how it used to, or not how you normally have it. Overall, anything like that will have you distracted, looking at everything that has a reflection, and paranoid that you look like a total rat face. You frown at yourself through the mirror. Now that you thought about these things, you were definitely paranoid and bothered now. You finished brushing your teeth before washing out your mouth. You completely forgot about Jack being there since it was completely replaced with the thought about your hair. Reaching out to a drawer, you grab your hairbrush before running it through your hair. You feel a relaxation from it brushing against your scalp. You know, since you didn't take a shower for quite some bit and you didn't really satisfy the itch on the top of your head. Speaking or thinking of taking a shower, you remember Jack's presence being inside the door, and how you should most definitely take a shower now before you probably won't have the freedom to do so. You didn't even know if Jack would or would not let you take one, though you'd rather do it now before you get even more bothered. Get out. I'm going to take a shower, you bluntly say to his face, approaching him before stopping and putting quite some space in between the two of you. Clothes? He questions. No duh, you answered, before he steps behind him and lets you out. Dumb nut, you thought. Of course you needed your clothes or towel. Clearly you didn't bring some with you. For someone who always is near you and watching you, he seems kind of clueless. Unless this is a little game of keeping you hostage, then he guessed it kind of made sense since he would ask a dumbass question like that. This time, Jack didn't follow you to your room, but instead went the opposite way before he made his way in the kitchen. Perhaps to make some of that porridge again, or maybe some other soup or whatever. Quite nice having someone other than Docs or yourself make some food. Docs. Shit. You totally forgot about that old man. Gosh, what kind of quote unquote original partner are you? Not only that, but after the monster freak hurt your back and Jack's aggressive nursing care distracted you from trying to call him back, you didn't even make an attempt at these past few days. Hell, you even said you'll call him back. Wondered what he was doing nowadays. You might as well forget you even have a phone. All you have been doing to watch the television and sleeping. Where did Jack even put it, though? That should be out of your mind until later. Carrying the clothes and towel you were going to use after you shower, you bring yourself to the bathroom before locking the door once again. Sighing out of relief, Jack is gone, at least for now, was your thought before settling your clothes and towel somewhere and taking off your shirt. You lazily throw your shirt on the ground before checking yourself out. Well, not like that. Your mouth becomes a thin line as you stare into the mirror and turn your back. Oh, fuck. Your eyes widen a bit. You didn't think it would be this bad. Fuck, dude. Aside from the back of your bra strap, then the middle of your back was a bluish purplish bruise. Quite big. Guess that tree really packed a punch on you. Jeez, you didn't even know how you were standing right now at this moment. You shake your head before turning away and undressing. Let's just say you were definitely going to take at least an hour or more with the shower. Long, Jack says as he stares at you. You both were currently in the kitchen, just sitting at the dining table. It felt like some weird mafia meeting, not like you ever been in one. It's just how you would think it would feel like, with the atmosphere a bit intimidating and tense, you don't even know. Yeah, I just really needed that shower, you know? He spoke before rubbing the towel in your hair and scalp. You didn't even know why you chose to bring your towel with you in the kitchen, but you definitely knew why there was another bowl of, what is that? Oh, soup. Something other than porridge. The porridge wasn't even bad at all, it was just the fact that we rushed out so many bad memories that came from a single moment. You sigh at this before setting the wet towel on your lap after you were done trying to dry out some water in your hair. You guessed you were just going to air dry your hair for now. You didn't want to hear the loud noise of the hair dryer. Bringing the bowl closer to you, grabbed the spoon before scooping up some of the liquid and blowing on it. It was still steaming. Quite surprising since you took one hell of a shower. You used my stuff to make this? He questioned. It was your turn to make a dumbass question. Although he might have came prepared and had some of his own ingredients. You take a mouthful of the spoonful. Yummy. Not too good, not too bad, just alright. You hear a deep rumble that surely came from Jackie in front of you. With his arms crossed and sitting up straight, he looks like a stern parent. A moment of silence occurs, definitely a common thing to happen between the two of you, but that whole time you were just blowing, scooping, gulping, and stirring your soup. You paid no attention to the man whatsoever, but that was besides the point. Now for you to shoot back a not so dumb question. So, since you're here making food and getting ingredients for my place, surely you won't mind doing the dirty work for my dogs, right? After all, my back is still hurting. Lies, all the truth but not the last part. You felt normal at least. You continued to blow on the soup and your spoon and this time staring at the man, waiting for an answer, just anything. He uncrosses his arms before taking one of his hands and starts rubbing the back of his neck. I already did it, was his answer. How so? You asked. Damn, you knew you took some time taking a shower, but not that long. For him to do such things like cooking and doing all that work for your dogs in a matter of time is crazy and unbelievable. You do realize I'm talking about the care for my dogs. Yeah, friend did it. The fuck? Who the fuck is your friend and how can you just entrust them with my dogs? You yelled. Pushing your chair behind and standing straight up, you almost spilled the bowl, but you didn't really care. When did this person came by before you woke up, I helped, he states. You frown at this. He has more friends. You sit back down. Just tell me next time before you let this person on my property, you say sternly before going back to your soup Jack made. You were still kind of upset that you possibly didn't know this person, unless it was Jeff, but you felt like Jeff would never do such work based on his actions. Either way, you didn't know this person. Also, not the response you thought you were going to get from Jack, but either way, he's talking more a little. Just wait, my sweet babies. Mama's going to be there without these strangers taking over. Author's note. Nothing here, nothing to say. That is the end of this chapter. Um, yeah, that was quite a chapter. Still more interaction with Jack and the main character, but hey, um, how do you guys feel about that? That was definitely interesting. Well, hopefully we can find a next story for this. Let me know how you guys felt about this. Chapter 18. Cool. I will be getting started with posting more of the Tiki Toby one until we find another series to do. But until then, you guys have a lovely day and thank you so much for your guys' patience. And again, y'all are so lovely. Like, y'all support me a lot for just being a small little YouTuber on here. I hope you guys have a great day and bye bye.